coming up for his matches. That is good to know. But for now, we are with the likes of Cloud9 and Optic Gaming. They will be playing. I've developed this pointing habit where I just keep pointing at people. I don't know how this looks on camera. This might look terrible, but perhaps I should stop pointing. Maybe I'll start like fisting instead. I don't know. But it's going to be on Overpass. I love me some Overpass, one of my favorite maps to play, favorite maps to watch good teams play on as well. I mean, Optic, they were short of the mark on the previous map, but by no means were they completely out of it. I mean, the score wasn't amazing for them, but the point I'm trying to make is that I expect this to be a competitive map of Counter-Strike. What do you expect, Jordan? What do you expect?
I expect the chime to be played at least once per half. Other than that, I can't really think of much more hard-hitting thoughts.
On the subject of hard hitting, that was completely off camera, but Dan was like basically doing that.
No, what map is next right now?
Do you have the bingo wings, Dan?
The what?
What? Overpass.
Overpass.
Don't you know what bingo wings are?
No.
Bingo wings are when you're like,
I don't know.
You know, when you got bingo and you're doing this, but you've just got this like flap
Oh, right.
shaking around there.
No.
So if you're going like, you've got the bingo wings going on.
I don't think I've watched the new Optic play Overpass at all, but in the past, players who liked the map on their various teams. So I don't know if I've any. Yeah, well, yeah, FNSs might be. I wonder if he's even going to call. I feel like Tarek might even call Overpass. I wonder if they've had the time to go over every map.
That's a good point, actually.
Yeah.
Very good point.
I mean, I always like to put it as you've got 14 halves to create for a team, because 7 maps, but 2 halves for each one, so 14 halves. So that's a lot. People just think 7 maps, man. You think of it as 14 different things you've got to do. It's a big list. So perhaps he will slot into what they've had in formation in the past. I mean, not as a player, but as a team, their general approach and what they want to achieve and so on and so forth. And they can develop off of that as time goes on. And Cloud9 will be starting on a T side, so perhaps we'll get an opportunity to see that. The pop flash is in, 4 men through Monster, and FNS makes his way towards a short B position. So far, it's looking good for Cloud9. Got Cajun B by the graffiti area. Tarek will try to run distraction, flying at him, while Automatic finds the kill. Oh, Shazam.
You see the steadiness even in the turn. He has just a very good horizontal steadiness.
Yeah, it's very calm and chill. You have to take your time with the pistols and they will reward you.
One thing to note, did you guys see the smoke that was thrown that round? It's pretty cool.
I didn't see the smoke,
They threw the heaven smoke from T-spawn.
Ooh, really?
Yeah.
Really?
Pretty neat.
Oh, blimey, son.
So that's why it's such a simple, seemingly simple strat. Pretty complex, but hitting that smoke from right there at the bottom of the stairs, you line up on the corner of that wall, and you throw it all the way to heaven with a good run jump. You release when you get to the sewer on the ground.
Not bad, not bad.
Yeah.
James is running it down. It's like, I want this. I'm going to absorb this.
You never seen that one before, James?
No, I have not.
Ooh.
Well, anti-eco time, Cloud9 doing more or less a standard anti-eco type setup. Are we going to get a... What are they up to? What?
Oh, look at that.
Wow, the triple P.
Air Michael Jackson. He's got Air Jordans on and he's Michael Jackson.
You have to respect the level
of
detail for something like that in a round like this, where it's like an anti-eco, you can very much, cuck some corners. You can definitely do a good triple peak without doing that.
What's the reason with going backwards? Is there anything that you guys know?
It's cool, man.
Style.
Alright, yeah, makes sense.
Maybe depends on which way he wants to swipe his mouse, if he prefers it to the left.
That would be it. That's what I was, yeah, like something like that. So they're rotating B simply because they didn't see them right then. And then they were wrong. Ooh. This is called, we literally called this Hellfire. They're missing one molly.
Well, it's working out pretty nicely so far.
Yep.
Stan caught on the edge of the smoke, and he will be punished.
Kind of like Inferno or Hellfire, but the only molly they were missing was the sign. They came up with this as an anti-eco, and we had molly sign, back bomb boxes, and then on the semi.
Ah.
It was pretty wild.
I love this. I think it's so cool. Like, it just... Firstly, A-Long is one of the safest, most tradable like great open spaces. Your back is against the wall. You don't have to worry about any corners except the connector from bathrooms. And then you get to a position where you can just execute this. That's money. That's money, Jordan. I feel like we don't see it enough, that sort of stuff.
Well, from certain teams, I think they really plan out the Molotovs more than others. Nip always had really cool anti-ecos.
Yeah. And this is the other anti-eco that I really like. I mean, to me, these are the two best options. Very fast B or the progressive A long, just because it's very difficult for the CTs to really understand what's going on, to react, to position, to deal with grenades. You don't really get them much in the way of options. But if you play like a very, very slow round, or if you take people through connector, or if if you're doing stuff like this, you're more susceptible to one dig, or them being able to figure out, okay, this guy's over here, let's reposition, and so on.
I think especially on that third round, like the rushes are always pretty preferred because it cuts out a lot of DS. You have stronger guns, don't throw too many nades, just get in there and get your guns pointed straight ahead.
Damn straight, and they're going to keep hold of the back 10s too. And Galil onto Tarek, so it's going to be interesting to see with the option. They will look to be going towards B, which makes a lot of sense. A lot more close fights for these Mac 10s for the Galil to work out on, and Stan will be caught out on a bad timing. Tarek will get both entries with the Galil, that's always nice. Next player spotted in the water, which Tarek will also deal with the Galil. And whenever I see Galil frags, I'm a little bit... I always feel like you're going to lose a fight with the Galil somehow.
Yeah. I've never been too opposed to using the Galil or the FAMAS. Maybe because maybe it's because of my hard pad. I always just feel comfortable with that correction. So if I can just get a dink with either of those, I feel super comfortable carrying it over. For some reason, some people just like hate them. They feel like they always miss that first bullet.
I like the FAMAS, but the Galil doesn't feel as good for me personally. But
just call it trash, Dan. I know you want to.
But it's I'm happy to use it. I don't hate it like some, but
C9 off to a good. This is what's looking like it's going to be a 5-0. Nice comfy start again. Unless a creative flash from Stanislaw right now could do something to get him a couple kills and a couple guns. I could already almost see these whole rounds happening. Like they flash push, get a couple guns, and they'll get mowed down. But then two guys stay alive, and they rotate back B to plant, try to retake with no armor. They only win the round if someone hits like a one shot on CT with the no armor or something,
Yeah, it's
played so many of these.
Gotta be cautious. This is very cautious, and it looks like it'll be the A-long round again with the anti-eco. And that's one of the things about this again, yeah, so we're going to see the same rounds. See the same setup. There's actually a play by the tree position this time, so it'll be fun to see if they detect that. It's not too difficult to deal with the player in this position, because the tree, you can just wallbang it, so it's like you can't really hide very well. And this is the next awkward spot, but there's the pop flash, very easy. And even if Optic know what's coming, just the nature of the grenades, just what can you do? You can't stand anywhere.
You have to peek into them is like the only option you have, and then maybe go 1 for 1.
And it's like, Cloud9 are this moving fort at the moment, in a very defensible positions. You can't really attack the flank, you can't really attack the front. There's so many, all the players are there. It's very difficult to catch Cloud9 here. And Automatic is in a great position to stop any shenanigans as the initial Molotovs are thrown onto the site, and the execute works brilliantly once again. And those are the two anti-ecos we've seen, like the fast B versus this one. I feel like you can alternate. You don't have to. Maybe 2 times you do the B one, 2 times you can do that.
Yeah.
I feel like you don't. Do you feel like you need more than that, or do you think those 2 rounds are good enough? Like, do you need a 3rd round?
Well, there always is something that you haven't thought of yet on the map, which is the fun thing, right? One thing that has worked for my team in the past to stop anti-ecos is just like the deep flash from the sign for people at the planter. You catch a couple guys off guard, and then you have someone with like a P250 or CZ hiding close by the Guardian stairs right there in bathroom. So you'll get those 2 kills long, and then the other guys will start scaling bathroom to like blanking you guys who were obviously at long, and then you have someone with like a CZ right there to get that kill, and that's how you kind of win those rounds. But in the general sense, I agree. You can kind of hit either site. I think A is always more favored when it's like the force buy, because you can just maintain distance, and then when you actually are going to come on the site, you can just throw the nades and everything's in front of you. Whereas at B, even if you throw the nades, the CTs can kind of finagle between them a little bit, and get some annoying CZ kills or something.
Gotcha. Well, there it is. Anti-ecos on Overpass by Jordan, nothing Gilbert.
1-0-1.
Well, by both of us.
Oh, yes.
Rush had a lot of targets in connector during that spray. He managed to find one of them. I've never been able to jump on the corner of the pipe in connector.
Really?
Yeah.
I'll show you how.
I need to. Yeah, show me.
Nice.
Nice.
Once you get the movement, it's pretty easy. It's just like a side jump with duck.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I should be knifing people from there.
Knifing?
Why not? You know me. I'm almost reaching
Spider-Man.
6,700 knives, and I have that's on one knife, and I have like 5 knives.
How many AFKs were that? Was on that?
Fair few.
Automatically going for the peek here into... This is always a really nice peek because you might not get a favorable 1v1, but you can sometimes just get a 50-50 1v1, and that can be what gets your team back into the round. But unfortunately, Automatic will lose this fight.
Shazam trying to hold things down on the A site. There's a flash there. We've got some flying teeth. He's going to extend wide, and he will be traded. Surely that was inevitable. Took the risk though. And that leaves still Optic with a man advantage now that FNS has fallen to the flames. Will there be a boost?
Why
It seems that there will be.
FNS's name on C9. Did he like switch teams mid-round? No. UI issues. Love you guys.
Peppering the players, and Optic will win the rounds.
That confused me. Did you see that?
I was focusing on commentating the round, Jordan, but I had to stop
That was stupid.
because of your question, and then the round was over. So
I just blew my mind because his death went under them, so I was like trying to figure out.
sometimes if a player disconnects, it does some silly stuff. I've told him about it, so it's on the list of things to fix.
I didn't think that... I wasn't sure that Optic would win that round, to be honest, after the way things started out, but... or rather, after Cloud9 got the site, I felt like there was a decent chance, but... they do get that first round on the board, a very, very important one. They're a while away from really fixing their economy. We can see that Cloud9 are in a really good spot from that position. So double ops will be the prognosis for Optic, and they'll be grabbing those. I'm curious to see how they'll use those. And what Cloud9 feel as though the answer might be. Skadil himself has picked up an AWP, so I doubt we'll see a super fast round. I'm curious whether Optic will try to take sewers. I feel like Sue's control on the CT side can be so powerful sometimes.
So there's a smoke to ward off any sniper rifle players from that toilet's position. It forces the CTs back because it compromises support you can have elsewhere. Actually, there's a collection of smokes here from Cloud9 to force Optic really far back. However, Config is just now joining Shazam in the long area, so it seems they will not be warded off. Now, Config running back. I do wonder if he could be heard from this position. I'm not entirely sure if the T's are too far away or not. Some boosts over the smoke, looking for some angles, which the CTs might reasonably take, but seems the CTs have heeded the warnings. There's a re-smoke from Config to the outside toilets position.
It's a cool boost. I like it. This is scary right now. Cloud9 are sort of allowed to get as close as they want to, although going all the way on A long might be a bit difficult, but like Optic have not yet made an information play on the map. They do have 3 players on A though, so that is nice, but if Cloud9 are allowed to go too close to make the execute, oh, they're going to double back. This or no, they don't really have anyone in sewers. They don't have that option available to them. They'll commit it to the A site with the grenades. And Config with the boost is good for one. His teammate will get taken down though.
Oh dear.
And that is a really big problem.
Seemed to be some confusion as to which way he wanted to go. That didn't seem necessary. They've got to be frustrated about that. Shazam punished instantly by FNS, and 4 versus 2, the B players see what they choose to do. But that was really weird in the long area because one player was close enough to long to peek, but seemed to want to go the other way, and the other player had his behind to toilets and then backed off and got shot. So it was a ruddy mess.
Yeah, the Config Cajun setup was could have gone better. I do. I mean, Optic obviously made a decision that they would play this round super passively as well. So I wonder if that will be something that will encourage them in future rounds to try to take more initiative around the bathroom area, just to make sure that they can prevent Cloud9 from getting into the position where they can basically sort of just set up an execution of a set piece. Oh, hello, Nova. Surely that's not a purposely bought Nova. Surely not.
Might see a round restore, perhaps? I don't know. I mean, is he dropping it over? Ooh, Cosmos Gaming. Cosmos Gaming has just won 50,000 face-it points. Bingo, bango, bongo, bish, bash, bosh.
What can you buy at 50,000?
I don't know. I can't
have
remember.
The whole marketplace memorized.
We I did look the other day. I was like, what can I get with my money? But then I realized that I had like every skin that I wanted already.
You can buy the respect of his peers.
There are things you can get that aren't skins though on there as well. But like you can buy keyboards, PC accessories, PCs, and other things. What you can't buy is aim like automatic. Opening up the round for Cloud9, round number 8. Optic line waits now.
I think you can buy aim.
It might not work on Faceit though. Maybe some of those other websites that Jordan, but
the indefensible.
you can't buy aim for Faceit.
Anti-cheat too good.
What you can buy yourself is a ban.
Tarek's gonna walk himself straight into this bomb site.
Wow. You love it, don't you?
And I don't even want him to get in contact with anyone at A. I hope Shazam doesn't turn around. But just keep walking. It's just a fun situation to watch here.
Keep on trucking.
Cajun B is about to take a poo-poo in his pants.
Oh my god.
And he just shook his whole desk.
Yeah, that is very surprising to see. Your brain just can't like understand, can't comprehend, can't compute such a move. Shazam will get a kill, but he's essentially isolated from his team from anything really. I mean, he's got lovely scenery. That's about all he's got going for himself at the moment.
So
there's a menu, but the restaurant is closed.
Oh, that's a shame.
Wow.
Well, at
There's
least
a cafe.
maybe
Or
Just a
he
leftover
got
picnic.
seated in the restaurant,
picnic
and
basket.
then what he wanted to order was no longer available because the chefs put it away.
Potentially.
There's
They've
nothing-
run out of salmon. What was it? I went to an Asian restaurant and they had run out of noodles.
Whoa.
How's that even possible? That's the main thing they sell. Everything has noodles in it.
That's why they ran out.
You know, KFC didn't have chicken for ages in the UK, like loads of KFCs.
Really? Why?
Yeah, because they changed their delivery partner and they just couldn't deliver that chicken.
In time for everyone who's craving some good old KFC. Man, I love KFC when I'm in Europe. I don't know the last time I've eaten KFC in the US. It's probably been a year.
I think I've
maybe.
had it for like 5 years. Something.
I don't know.
But every time I'm in, like, especially Katowice, we call it Katowice fried chicken at this point, because we eat it every time.
Nice. Ooh. We get a faster round for Cloud9 as
There's
they
the heaven smoke.
rally up.
There it is, bottom right. Right when he hits the white circle on the ground, he's going to release as he hits halfway through it.
There it is. There it is. Thank
There
you,
it is.
Mr. Sligwell. AK is moving into the site. Gate is blind. Gate is close to a smoke, but it won't offer him much respite. That one might allow him to escape for a time. Allow him to hold down. Oh, look at the grades. So Gamble though to push through the smoke. Gate, I think he heard something.
Ah!
Oh, there it is. Skadoodle on the site. The rounded pillar will lose the bomb. That leaves FNS alone in a short position. Where are these final CTs? There's one of them, and only one required to finish things off. Only the second round, though, for Optic.
Cloud9 wanted to scale there, but good, you know, the smokes like that. It's almost like maybe you don't Molotov the barrel guy in that situation because you know he's just going to put it out with a smoke and create kind of like a harder kill for you.
Right, yeah. That's smart.
Especially earlier in the round like that. Maybe late round if they've wasted mollies or something, but I wonder about that concept. Just what if you know the molly you throw over barrel? What if you found a way to just like HE on top of that guy and just like early round before you had the last two spawns are still heavy HEs right under his head. That could be a fun concept to mess with.
Love the HE set HEs.
Well, the mollies every time that guy smokes himself out, and then depending on what the other B player has left, he might even have a smoke to throw towards like sandbag, and it just creates this smoke wall. And the main idea as a T there is when you take B, you want to progress to the pit so that you give the rotators not a chance to jump out of heaven.
Yeah, yeah. Position's so strong. And Cloud9 may be interested in going for B again, potentially. The bomb is being collected by Skid Doodle, and he will make his way back through towards Monster. So indeed, B will be the plan here for Cloud9 as they have 45 seconds left in the round to get that bomb planted. And they will likely have some decent success here. Let's see how the grenades go. Okay, I love that.
Oh dear.
I've never is that spot, so just from you guys watching and casting other games, has that spot like been like a good producer of frags?
I don't really remember anything being done from that spot.
Not that I've
What's
seen
the
on
benefit?
camera.
Is it maybe someone in the back can't trade as easy on the angles? Like I just.
Okay.
As a B player, I think Shroudy might have played there sometimes, but never. A rush here, looking to shut down all hopes as he's on the brink of the smoke. And automatic and a flank. And
Ooh, did they boost up the balcony?
Yeah, I think that's what happened.
I love the balcony boost.
We were watching, but I was not paying attention.
Yeah, I think you can see it. Yeah, I'm not sure about that position. I think normally you see people take the off angle. On the left, further along the wall.
Well, that makes more sense to me because it's the more deep the angle, the more chance the people coming through it line up.
Yeah.
So I don't know why he would take the depth of his angle away.
I think often you have them playing closer as well, and you can play bait setups with it or crossfires. Yeah, it's an interesting one. But I mean, had he actually landed the incendiary as well, as opposed to it just going straight into the smoke? I mean, the timing of it was pretty good. Like it would have done a fair amount of damage.
I'm just curious. Maybe I'm just missing some obvious fact. Maybe you dodge a certain flash that you wouldn't, or something. I don't know.
It's just so far back or something. Yeah.
But no, the molly. Even the point about the molly is kind of moot because you could throw the molly from right in front of where he's standing as well. So.
Very true. Yeah.
Like,
I mean, that's the thing too. Like because of the angle, it creates a. You don't really get the crossfire setup if there's someone playing around short as well, or. Yeah.
Either way, 9-2, and Optic is. I can see their body language from here. You know, they're kind of just slumping over their keyboards. All right, boys. Like I don't know. Let's just they just keep doing this and doing that, and we got to do this and do that against them.
Nice.
Profound.
One flash from config. Flash to rule them all. They'll be over towards the fountain position, looking to soil the water there perhaps. It's a lovely angle from Tarek, a lovely angle.
He's in a tree fort up there.
Skiddoodle has spotted 2 of the final 3 players. And here comes the cavalry. Or perhaps not. Sound close, but not quite. 3-play survive for Cloud9. 3 rounds remain in this half. 2 rounds only for Optic. Those are some numbers for you.
Oh, yeah, you talking about gun rounds?
I was speaking of, yes. 3 rounds remain. Those are gun rounds.
Why'd you say 2 for Optic?
Because they have 2. They have 1-2 rounds.
Oh. You said 3 rounds remain, 2 for Optic.
Yeah, as in they have 2 rounds.
Yeah. Now it makes sense.
Ah.
I thought you meant like Optic only had 2 rounds left as opposed to the total. Like,
there are 3 rounds left, but Optic only have 2 rounds left. It's been that bad. They've been forbidden 1 round.
You're not allowed to play that last one.
Not allowed to compete.
See the approach here. I mean, really, like watching this whole, even on Inferno, like there's nothing super glaring wrong. Some of these holes C9 have just found constantly. They seemed a little bit more. Everything they're doing just seems to kind of make more sense. Nothing too big, just kind of grouping, getting the kills.
Feels like
that.
Nice.
Like it's just another. That's this whole game in a nutshell. Like Optic has an idea, and somehow it like works against them.
And it also feels like Cloud9, the players are so good at sort of, like I think teams in general in this era of Counter-Strike are getting much better at sort of mixing individuality on top of team elements and giving the trust to the individuals to do stuff. And we've seen a bunch of stuff like that from Cloud9 this round already on some of the less execute-heavy rounds. We can go back to this point. Automatic is trying to work towards B here. They will smoke them up at the time being. There's a fair amount of time left in the round, so that smoke is going to go away around 50 seconds.
Ooh, hello.
Skadoodle's just going in. He's going straight for it.
Ty is super steady. He's not the most like whippy or reactionary rifle, but he's super steady.
The smoke has been missed on the balcony, and that might be a problem later. Oh, Shazam, sorry. Gets annihilated, and then he leads it down to Stanislaw. He's got the AWP. Very nice jump peek from him, but what does he do now? FNS has reset the situation. He will just pop out and whop him in the face. Pop. That was interesting. Bardolph is trying to talk too quickly.
11-2, and let's see here. A little force buy, maybe some kind of water control in a second from Optic. Cloud9 would be smart to default here. But they're like, you know what? Who are you to tell us, Jordan?
Yeah, Jordan.
We will run over B no matter what. Oh, stay. Get me up there, Shaz. Slide up the stairs. More. Thank you. There, yeah.
Nice legs. Love some legs.
I don't think he's expecting rather so many. Probably thinks it's a lurker, but in fact, almost the entire team are here. But will that ward them away? Cloud9 may think that they've given away more information than Optic have potentially seen. Moving forward now, Gade with a massive glide on the wall. Will get traded by Skadoodle. Crouch peek, and he can't get Cage and B. That leaves FNS alone. This push has been decimated by Optic Gaming, and there is round number 3 for Optic.
Yeah.
Do you think that previously when we saw, like, you know, you questioned that position like directly in front of the monster tunnel before, do you think that he just got just sort of caught out in the timing and was actually planning to just try to surf and basically do the play that we saw there?
I think he was just standing there.
Okay.
I don't know, like just the way he was playing it with the molly. I'm sure. I mean, the whole idea.
True.
The whole idea there is you have your other teammate along the wood or the ramp by the pillar or something that's able to swing and kind of fight. So you guys at the least will go like 2 for 2, and then depending on how you use your nades and how they come out, you might be able to get that third or delay them enough. Because it is not easy. Like sometimes, like B is a very sensitive subject. You can just get overrun so fast, just like that. And
that was a really nice play between Rush and Finesse, and I think the flash may have came from the from who was Skadoodle, who's carrying the bomb. And we'll get the nades. The HE sailing in. Ooh, might be good. No. Okay, they do miss. Good. Molly onto the stairs, preventing the CTs from making their way up to prevent a plant or to catch any frags as the CTs, or rather the Ts fall back to the post-plant positions that they want. And this should be nigh on impossible. A 1v5 in an incredibly favorable planting position. Gade, all he can really hope to do now is to go out in a blaze of glory. This is last round, and it will be Cloud9's of the first half. That is 12-3, a dominating T side, where we saw a lot of that. We saw a lot of really like well-timed pushes.
Look at Tarek's score
and well-executed trades.
21-4-5. I think that tells its story.
Yeah, C9 seemed definitely very confident that whole game. That's probably even why they did that B strat on round 14 there. Just like, let's go, boys. We're kind of, let's get out in the open and get in some fights, because these guys are getting whomped. So, second half, well, another battle. The war is not over.
FNS wants some pistol stardom, fighting at the fountain. I think he saw the numbers and decided it was not favorable. Gade has a P250. He's not the raid boss man though. He's got the flash and the smoke grenade. Automatic hears numbers towards long and will choose to back off. Looking at his teammate, maybe for a command. Now, how far have they gone? I think HHB made some steps as well. FNS saving his teammate there. Tarek will get taken down eventually, and now it's turn. Automatic's turn again. Automatic with these pistols. He knows some players were long. Skadoodle will take out the first player. Now it's Skated with that T250, unable to do anything so far. Here's a flashbang. And I think Skadoodle shot him through the smoke as his teammate just emerged. That looked really weird, but it was awesome for Cloud9.
I don't know, like this Optic team, it's like too soon to critique them much because they're
Yeah.
still kind of building up, but
Yep.
definitely want to see them get Gade and Config out there more, because those guys have ridiculous aim. And so for Config to only have 2 kills, like something, you know, that happens in CS. Like it's not like something that needs to be too overanalyzed, but I definitely want to see those guys. Like when you think about this roster, Stanislav's bringing the structure, Shazam's super solid opper, super solid pistol player. But like on these gun rounds, I feel like Gade and Config should be doing a lot more to just win bigger impact kills. So hopefully, the more they get comfortable, the more they figure out how to get those players in those positions. Or those players figure out how to get themselves in those positions, because as you were talking about earlier now, it's a 4v4. As we were talking about earlier now, CS is more and more how individually aware everyone is, and not necessarily just having some big master start to round, end to round game plan. There's a lot of adapting on the fly here, and FNS is about to do just that as he sees the smoke and realizes, hey, even numbers aren't necessarily an advantage in this case, although we do have the guns. If they swarm us at the site, we could get run over. So he's using that smoke very smart. Get that Molotov off. And still, maybe trying to do a little bit too much there.
Yeah, I'm surprised. I thought he might have cover from the front of the site, but Skadoodle had 2 jobs to do, with Long being a problem as well. 2 MP9s now to try and retake. Does Tarek go through the smoke, expecting one person to be planting? He does, and at least he has the information for Rush, who can finish things off. Some really nice aim from Rush at the end there, and he'll throw away the MP9 for the Scouts. Save the slightly more expensive weapon. Nice no-scope from Skadoodle. Scout's always been a great weapon to no-scope in CS, even up to medium range. In more than CSGO.
Seems kind of like it kind of goes.
In older versions of CS, I could headshot people from medium range of a scout and not need to scope in at all. I could do it on the regs. People thought I had blue tack on my screen, but I didn't have money for blue tack. So no, I didn't have any blue tack.
The stream, anytime someone was saying that, because I was doing the no crosshair thing one day and I was actually doing really well.
You've got tape on your screen.
Yeah, and I just turned the webcam around. I was like, and
Nice.
Just because you can't do something doesn't mean I can't.
Tarek here, about to, he can smell the Danish man himself.
Nice. Wow. Completely baited. Completely baited. It goes to show again, Sean highlighted that when you're trying to do these bait setups, you always want the guy further away. You know, well, there can be some exceptions, but generally speaking, you want the guy further away to peek first, to take contact first, because that also means the other team have committed further positionally.
Further enough to where they're now in the trap.
Yep. Yep.
Definitely.
That was another good example of that.
Yeah.
Because if one of the players got greedy, who was close because he could hear something, then he could have died, and just doesn't work out as well.
Yeah, it might as well be 2 separate 1v1s.
They need to go deep.
Gotta go deep.
To the point of no return.
Rush really solid in these positions, really good at working around just like a pillar type object.
Yeah, he's got really good jiggle peek game. Like the way that he works fights and controls them is really, really cool. Like resets his positions, and
it immediately makes me think of some rounds he's won at like New Box on Inferno, where he has the AK on T side and he's just like peeking the guy construction, peeking the guy main, peeking, and like really just winning those duels.
Does remind you of Rain a bit sometimes. Like,
yeah,
I feel like Rain's shooting style still to me is kind of unique. The way that he's so quick with the counter strafing, the two bullet bursts, and it's really cool.
Another force buy from Optic Gaming. 1 AK onto config, so it's on the right person or one of the right people. It is where you would want it to be. Scout with Shazam as well. Gade on the Deagle. See if they will be given any openings. They must beware the potential traps, as we saw from Cloud9 in the previous round. There's Rush having a Luke. And again, they know that this is a weak buy, and they're unlikely to be against many rifles here. Stanislav picking up the AK-47, but Rush is just ready for it, and there it is, 16-3. Optic Gaming getting bleached and disposed of on Overpass.
That's a very unsatisfying day for them. Even though the scoreline was closer on Inferno, is still just as frustrating probably with some of the rounds they lost. And, you know, some work to be done on the Optic front, but season's not over yet. More chances to bring more points into there.
Yeah, it's so curious just because the lineup is just such a strange combination of players. But as you mentioned, there's a huge amount of skill on the lineup. It's actually kind of nuts. Like you mentioned, Optic and Gage. Obviously, we know Cajun B is very explosive, very suitable as a second AWP if you want it, if you need it. Shazam, obviously, amazing mechanics on him, and a great AWP for the team. There's definitely low potential. I mean, Stan's a good leader. He's proven. I mean, he's taken teams like that in a sense, who, you know, players of relative obscurity but have very lot of skill to success. So it's going to be really fun to follow their story to see if Stan can do it again.
The final kills. Nice time by Rush. Up after the break, the first map is going to be Train. Quick discussion and into the match on the other side. We will see you soon. Get wrecked.